Hi there. We are on 240 of our Through the Bible in 1 Year. We are on Ezekiel. It's a long book, so we're going to be here for quite a while. Chapters 5 through 8 today. Or chapters, but they're short chapters, so it's pretty easy to get through. And as you know, Ezekiel was one of the people that after Nebuchadnezzar and Babylon destroyed Jerusalem and Judah, took 10,000 or so people captive and exiled them up to the cities surrounding Babylon. And he lives in one of those cities called Tel Aviv, and he was the Lord speaking to him, and he's speaking to the people. And do they listen? Probably not, but very stubborn, those Israelites. So let's get into it. Ezekiel dramatizes Jerusalem's fall. Now, you son of man, take a sharp sword. Use it as you would a barber's razor, and shave your head and beard. Then take a set of scales and divide the hair. You are to burn up a third of it in the city when the days of the siege have ended. You are to take a third of it and slash it with the sword all around the city. And you are to scatter a third to the wind. For I will draw a sword to chase after them. But you are to take a few strands of the hair and secure them in the folds of your robe. Take some of them, throw them into the fire, and burn them. A fire will spread from it to the whole house of Israel. Wow. You could probably get really into that and find out what it is. This is what the Lord God says. I have set this Jerusalem in the center of the nations, with countries all around her. But she has rebelled against my ordinances with more wickedness than the nations, and against my statutes more than the countries that surround her. For her people have rejected my ordinances and have not walked in my statutes. Therefore, this is what the Lord God says, because you have been more insubordinate than the nations around you, you have not walked in my statutes or kept my ordinances, you have not even kept the ordinances of the nations around you. Therefore, this is what the Lord God says, see, I am against you, Jerusalem. I will execute judgments within you in the sight of the nations. Because of all your detestable practices, I will do to you what I have never done before, and what I will never do again. As a result, fathers will eat their sons within Jerusalem, and sons will eat their fathers. I will execute judgments against you and scatter all your survivors to every direction of the wind. And even today, the Jews are scattered all over the world. Okay, you can find them all over the world. Therefore, as I live, this is the declaration of the Lord. I'm going to cut you off. Got distracted. I'm going to cut you off and show you no pity, because you have defiled my sanctuary with all your detestable practices and abominations. Yes, I will not spare you. A third of your people will die by plague and be consumed by famine within you. A third will fall by the sword all around you, and I will scatter a third to every direction of the wind. I will draw a sword to chase after them. When my anger is spent and I have vented my wrath on them, I will be appeased. Then after I've spent my wrath on them, they will know that I, Yahweh, have spoken in my jealousy. I will make you a ruin and a disgrace among the nations around you in the sight of everyone who passes by. So you will be a disgrace and a taunt, a warning and a horror to the nations around you when I execute judgments against you in anger, wrath, and furious rebukes. I, Yahweh, have spoken. When I shoot deadly arrows of famine at them, arrows for destruction that I will send to destroy you, inhabitants of Jerusalem, I will intensify the famine against you and cut off your supply of bread. I will send famine and dangerous animals against you. They will leave you childless, Jerusalem. Plague with and bloodshed will sweep through you, and I will bring sword against you. I, Yahweh, have spoken. He's really mad, huh? Can you blame him, though? The word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, turn your face toward the mountains of Israel and prophesy against them. You are to say, mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord God. This is what the Lord God says to the mountains and the hills, to the ravines and the valleys. I am about to bring a sword against you, and I will destroy your high places. Your altars will be desolated, and your incense altars smashed. I will throw them down I will throw down your slain in front of your idols. I will lay the corpses of the Israelites in front of their idols and scatter your bones around your altars. Wherever you live in the cities will be in ruins, and the high places will be desolate, so that your altars will lie in ruins and be desecrated. Your idols smashed and obliterated, your incense altars cut down, and your works wiped out. The slain will fall among you, and you will know that I am Yahweh. Yet I will leave a remnant when you are scattered among the nations, for throughout the countries there will be some of you who will escape the sword. Then your survivors will remember me among the nations where they are taken captive, how I was crushed by their promiscuous hearts that turned away from me, and by their eyes they lusted after their idols. They will loathe themselves because of the evil things they did, their detestable practices of every kind, and they will know that I am the Lord. I did not threaten to bring this disaster on them without a reason. Got that? Right. Lament over the fall of Jerusalem. This is what the Lord God says. Clap your hands, stamp your feet, and cry out over all the evil, detestable practices of the house of Israel. You will fall by the sword, famine, and plague. The one who is far off will die by plague. The one who is near will fall by the sword. The one who remains and is spared will die of famine. In this way I will exhaust my wrath on them. You will all know that I am Yahweh, when their slain lie among their idols around their altars, and on every high hill, on all the mountaintops, and under every green tree and every leafy oak, the places where they offered pleasing aromas to their idols. I will stretch out my hand against them. Wherever they live, I will make the land desolate, a desolate waste, from a wilderness to Diblah. And they will know that I am Yahweh. Okay, chapter 7. Announcement of the end. And the word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, this is what the Lord God says to the land of Israel. An end, the end has come. On the four corners of the land, the end is now upon you. I will send my anger against you and judge you according to your ways. I will punish you for all your detestable practices. I will not look on you with pity or spare you, but I will punish you for your ways and for your detestable practices within you. Then you will know that I am Yahweh. This is what the Lord God says. Look, one disaster after another is coming. An end has come. The end has come. It has awakened against you. Look, it is coming. Doom has come on you. Inhabitants of the land, the time has come. The day is near. There will be panic on the mountains and not celebration. I will pour out my wrath on you very soon. I will exhaust my anger against you and judge you according to your ways. I will punish you for all your detestable practices. I will not look on you with pity or spare you. I will punish you for your ways and for your detestable practices within you. Reiterating that, right? Then you will know that it is I, Yahweh, who strikes. Look, the day is coming. Doom has gone out. The rod has blossomed. Arrogance has bloomed. Violence has grown into a rod of wickedness. None of them will remain. None of their multitude, none of their wealth, and none of the eminent among them. The time has come. The day has arrived. Let the buyer not rejoice, and the seller not mourn, for wrath is on all her masses. The seller will certainly not return to what was sold, as long as he and the buyer remain alive, for the vision concerning all its people will not be revoked, and none of them will preserve his life because of his iniquity. They have blown the trumpet and prepared everything, but no one goes to war. My wrath is on all their masses. The sword is on the outside. Plague and famine are on the inside. Whoever is in the field will die by the sword, and famine and plague will devour whoever is in the city. Think I'd rather die by the sword, right? The survivors among them will escape and live on the mountains like doves of the valley, all of them moaning, each over his own iniquity. All their hands will become weak and their knees will turn to water. They will put on sackcloth, and horror will overwhelm them. Shame will cover all their faces, and all their heads will be bald. Right. If you were really sad back then, you shaved your head and your beard. They will throw their silver into the streets, and their gold will seem like something filthy. The silver and gold will be unable to save them. In the day of the Lord's wrath, they will not satisfy their appetites or fill their stomachs, for these were the stumbling blocks that brought about their iniquity. He appointed his beautiful ornaments for majesty, but they made their abhorrent images from them. Their detestable things, therefore, have made these into something filthy for them. I will hand these things over to foreigners as plunder, and to the wicked of the earth as spoil. And they will profane them. I will turn my face from the wicked, and as they profane my treasured place, violent men will enter it and profane it. Forget the chain, for the land is filled with crimes of bloodshed, and the city is filled with violence. So I will bring the most evil nations to take possession of their houses. I will put an end to the pride of the strong, and their sacred places will be profaned. Anguish is coming. They will seek peace, but there will be none. Disaster after disaster will come. There will be a rumor after rumor. They will seek a vision from a prophet, but instruction will perish from the priests and counsel from the elders. The king will mourn, the prince will be clothed in grief, and the hands of the people of the land will tremble. I will deal with them according to their own conduct. I will judge them by their own standards. They will know that I am Yahweh. Okay, chapter 8. Visionary Journey to Jerusalem. In the 6th year, in the 6th month, on the 5th day of the month, I was sitting in my house, and the elders of Judah were sitting in front of me, and there the hand of the Lord God came down on me. I looked, and there was a form that had the appearance of a man. From what seemed to be his waist down was fire. From his waist up was something that looked bright, like a gleam of amber. He stretched out what appeared to be a hand, and took me by the hair of my head. Then the Spirit lifted me up between the earth and heaven, and carried me in visions of God to Jerusalem, to the entrance of the inner gate that faces north, where the offensive statue that provokes jealousy was located. I saw the glory of God, the God of Israel, there, like a vision I had seen in the plain. It's the second time. Pagan practices in the temple. The Lord said to me, Son of man, look toward the north. I looked toward the north, and there was this offensive statue north of the altar gate at the entrance. He said to me, Son of man, do you see what they are doing here? More detestable things than the house of Israel is committing, so that I must depart from my sanctuary? You will see even more detestable things. Then he brought me to the entrance of the court. When I looked, there was a hole in the wall. He said to me, Son of man, dig through the wall. So I dug through the wall, and there was a doorway. He said to me, Go in and see the terrible and detestable things they are committing here. I went in and looked, and there, engraved all around the wall, was every form of detestable thing, crawling creatures and beasts, as well as the idols of the house of Israel. Like these Egyptian tombs, eh? 70 elders from the house of Israel were standing before them, with somebody, son of Shaphan, standing among them. Each had a fire pan in his hand, and a fragrant cloud of incense was rising up. And he said to me, Son of man, do you see what the elders of the house of Israel are doing in the darkness? Each at a shrine of his idol, for they are saying, The Lord does not see us, the Lord has abandoned the land. And again he said to me, You will see even more detestable things which they are committing. Right. So he brought me to the entrance of the north gate of the Lord's house, and I saw women sitting there weeping for Tammuz. He said to me, Do you see this, son of man? You will see even more detestable things than these. So he brought me to the inner court of the Lord's house. And there were about 25 men at the entrance of the Lord's temple, between the portico and the altar, with their backs back to the Lord's temple and their faces turned to the east. They were bowing to the east in worship of the sun. And he said to me, Do you see this, son of man? It is not enough for the house of Judah to commit the detestable things they are practicing here, but they must also fill the land with violence and repeatedly provoke me to anger, even putting the branch to their nose. That's weird. What is this? A Jewish tradition. Reads my nose. Yeah, a pagan ritual maybe. Therefore I will respond with wrath. I will not show pity or spare them. Though they cry out in my ears with a loud voice, I will not listen to them. I know. So, there you go. Man. These guys are sick, aren't they? They're doing some sick stuff. Okay, and this goes on. This goes on for 32 chapters, okay, before it starts talking about the other side. So, there you go. That's day 240. That was not too bad, man. They're doing some evil stuff, aren't they? It just, you know what? They just walk away. That's weird. You wonder how that could happen. It's happened over and over again through all of history. Okay, Israel has done this so many times. And they always get knocked down, and they always come crawling back, and he always takes them back. He always has mercy on them, which just amazes me. You know, you would think after 3 or 4 times he would go, forget it. I'm done with you guys. But he never is. It's pretty amazing. So There you have it. That's day 240. Catch up on anybody I missed. You want to say I got the whole Bible in a year? Even these parts which are long and drawn out. But till tomorrow, we'll do it again. See you later.